What's up, everyone? And welcome back to Talk 4K Blu-rays. And today's movie takes us back to 2009 for Quentin Tarantino's World War II reimagining flick, Inglorious Basterds. Now, this movie already came out on 4K, but Arrow took it upon themselves to give their A+ treatment and put it out again. Let's check it out. Look how big this is. Standard front and back. It's a slip cover, if I can get it off. Inside, nice book, nice box going on. Operation Kino. Inside, standard with all Arrow. You got a poster of the movie. Two-sided. In addition, from the pub in France, coaster. Standard booklet, talks about the movie itself, talks about Tarantino. Look at the front. There's also some information on the restoration of the movie for this release. It's like 60 pages. A lot of good stuff in here. You want to know more about Inglorious Basterds? It's in this book. And then your standard keeper case. Some lobby cards. I guess you could call them postcards. And then 4K disc, Blu-ray disc. Special features are on the Blu-ray disc, as always. But I mean, it is a 2.5 hour movie, so can't exactly fit all that on one disc.
Once we're in enemy territory, as a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're going to be doing one thing and one thing only: killing Nazis.
Believe it or not, while watching this new 4K release, it's actually the first time I've seen the movie the whole way through in one sitting. Now, I've seen the movie plenty of times over the years, but usually just bits and pieces of it. And while it's a classic and very entertaining Quentin Tarantino flick, I put it right behind his greats, such as Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill. With that being said, this is still an enjoyable film, and for 2.5 hours, I mean, it grabs your attention from the start to the end. And I especially liked his alternate timeline for World War II.
Good at that.
As with all Tarantino flicks, you have a huge ensemble cast of actors, such as Brad Pitt, Michael Fassbender, Eli Roth, Diane Kruger, BJ Novak, Melanie Laurent, and many others, including Christopher Waltz. And while I thoroughly enjoyed Brad Pitt's character as the tough-as-nails Nazi scalper lieutenant, I especially liked their colonel, Hans Landa, played by Christopher Waltz. Calm on the surface, but brutal and sadistic underneath. He stole the show. He was amazing. Let's get into it. All is not well in war-torn France in 1941 World War II. Colonel Hans Landa, played by Christopher Waltz, he has been tasked with finding and killing all the remaining Jews in France. After strong-arming a local dairy farmer into giving up the Jews he is protecting, Hans kills them all but one escapes, known as Shoshana Dreyfus. She escapes and takes over a cinema in the city. She ends up hosting a German premiere of the propaganda film Nation's Pride, where she plans on getting revenge. At the same time, a Jewish American group of soldiers led by Lieutenant Aldo Rain, also known as the Bastards, they're tracking down and killing Nazi soldiers and cutting off their scalps as trophies. Their mission takes them to this same cinema, where it is learned that the leadership of the Third Reich will be in attendance, including the Fuhrer himself. Both the surviving girl that escaped the evil Colonel Honda, aka the Jew Hunter, as well as the Bastards, both plan on taking out the cinema and the leadership and ending the war. Having never owned this before, I have nothing to compare it to, but I will say that this 2391 image looks fantastic. Granted, it is a 2K upscale, but presented in HDR, I thought it looks overall pretty great for the time period it was set in. The colors of France look terrific, with excellent detail across the board and a wealth of color. The darker shots had a tad haze, but overall they looked good with good contrast and shadow details. Facial tones looked lifelike, and with all the close-up shots, you could definitely tell. Audio was presented in DTS 5.1 HD, and it was amazing. As with any Tarantino flick, the music really complements the plot, but the ambient effects such as door knocking or things happening off screen had me turning my head a couple times. I especially liked the amount of detail and surround usage during the action sequences, with machine guns offering a ton of low-frequency rumbles from my subwoofers. This is a great audio track. As with any Arrow release, there is a ton of special features, including new interviews, as well as a look at Quentin Tarantino. There was also a documentary about filming in an occupied France during World War II. All of the previous special features from the earlier Blu-ray were also included, with a ton of behind-the-scenes stuff in random documentaries and interviews. This is a solid effort from Arrow Video. This is another solid release from Arrow Video and another great film by Quentin Tarantino. 9 out of 10. I totally recommend this. Well, that's today's 4K Blu-ray review. Come back again. See what's up next.
Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share, bruh.